Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. If you are not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address, or Sparky, the proprietor of Stunthangar, will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in, just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box, and I'll do my best to make your comments or questions a part of the show. Now, understand, sometimes even I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. By the way, you only can make comments or have questions during a live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos, Saturday at John's or Sunday at John's, contest coverage that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, and when you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that whether myself or Sparky's on, you'll be notified. Comments, share the videos, all these activities help the Stunthangar YouTube channel grow. Please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And right down below is a blue button, hit that. And please consider subscribing and joining our YouTube channel. And when you do, when you're a member, you'll get special emojis that Sparky and I can see in the chat box, so we know who our supporting patrons are. And you also get access to unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. I'm only in here twice a week. So if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. And if you would, please go to the video titled 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot with his camera of me flying his beautiful Junar XL, and I will receive a notification and be able to respond to you quickly. And by the way, Sparky is actually refinishing. Actually, he's probably putting on clear coat by now. Totally changed the way it looks. It looks beautiful. And that is a great flying plane. And that's why Sparky's probably invested time to refinish it. But I had the pleasure of flying that plane. If you watch the video, you can see me do the stunt pattern. And this was my first time at the Nats and hopefully not my last. So please go check it out. You can critique my pattern. I don't mind. Comments will be welcome. So please do that. And by the way, I want to thank everybody for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. Without any further ado, I'm going to now post a link at Stunthangar Forum Let me get that going and should be all queued up. All right, hit post. Great. So now I'm going to go to the YouTube, what I call Sparky's control panel. This is so I can see how the stream is going. Let me go there now. Okay. Hope everybody had a good week. Today's Friday the 13th. Some people think that's a bad luck day. I went flying today with about 3 other guys and no one crashed. So, we didn't have any crashes on some people have a suspicion about Friday the 13th. No tragedies, no carnage on the field. We survived. Whoops. Hang on a second. I made a wrong turn. Let me go here again. I'm trying to get to the control panel. Just bear with me. I hit the wrong button here. So let me go at it again. And hope I didn't mess anything up by doing that. Let's see what happens when I go back this way. Okay, that looks better. All right, great. Okay, here we go. So looks like we have 7 concurrent viewers and 5 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button yet, please do that. That helps the analytics of the program. And Jack Snavely is already in the chat box. And I have a couple people coming into our Zoom meeting here. But Jack Snavely says, hello, all air fans and pilots and tubers too. And a couple airplane emojis. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that very much. And Jack is he's a supporting patron of our channel. Thank you, Jack. Appreciate that. I can see your emoji there. Hey, welcome, Gary and John Miller. How you guys doing?
Doing fine.
Good.
Thank you so much for you guys coming in. I appreciate it. I know with the weather getting better and things opening up, people might find other things to do tonight. So I really appreciate you guys coming in. So what you guys been up to?
Well, I kind of did a little flying today, in a sense. Not like you're thinking. A buddy of mine and I went over to the football field at the high school and launched rockets.
All right. Hey, you know what? That's outdoors. You got some sunshine and got some exercise while having fun. Great.
Oh, it was a beautiful day. Had a lot of thermals going across the field, though, and we had to keep checking the direction we were launching to so that they would blow back into the football field. We had a couple of them go over in the other fields.
Yeah, that's. I went to a show or a launch out in. I'm not sure if it was in Arizona or California. It was near the border. I'm not sure if we were still in California or not, but with my friend Joe Mata, he took me out there. He actually flies rockets. I think he does the G motors as well. I think he's certified for that. But I was really impressed. I was really impressed. I was really impressed at the expense.
Yeah.
I mean, just each launch is like, depending upon what size, it could be like $20-25. I mean, it could be probably more than that.
Well, the ones we were launching average anywhere from a foot to about 2.5 foot tall.
All right.
They all use the same engine though, or motor. And it is amazing how fast they got up and how high they would go. I could just imagine what a G motor, I understand. Is a G motor the one you have to notify the FAA that you're launching?
Yeah, there was I don't know if my friend Joe actually used a G motor that day. He's probably watching this. He's out of town, but I think he might be watching this. He could probably chime in and tell me in the chat box, or if he wants to come in and tell me. But I think there were G motors there, and yes, they had notified the military, the military Air Force, the military base in proximity to where we were launching, and it was out of town. I mean, like, I believe it was in Yuma.
Yeah, I was going to suggest Yuma. Yeah.
I have a shirt from it, so it has a name on the launch, but
Fort Wachiti, whatever it is.
Say again?
Fort I don't think I had the Fort Watuchi or something like that.
Yeah, I don't know, but it was
Out of
definitely
Globe,
out.
Arizona.
It was definitely out by the boondocks. It was out there in the boons, that's for sure. And they had some of the guys had scooters or jeeps to go go reclaim their rockets, And
Well, we had Cub Scouts.
Oh, very cool. That'll work.
And they the deal was made if they could catch the rocket before it touched the ground.
Yeah,
they got $5.
Oh, very good.
So they were motivated. Yeah, they were motivated.
They are. Hey, Walter, I can tell just by looking at you that you are doing better. I'm so glad to see you, Walter.
Yes, indeed. Hi, Walter.
Fantastic. And hi, Howard Rush.
Hi.
Hi, Howard. Hi, Gary. Hi, John. Hi.
And
looking good. You lost a little weight, looks like, bud.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, you're my buddy.
You're talking to me.
Actually, in 2016, I had the stomach surgery.
Yeah.
And I lost 120 pounds, but gained 80 of it back. Well, I'm actually a pound away from being 100 pounds lost weight. So I've lost a bunch again, which thank you. Thank you for noticing.
Yeah, I can see it and just your face.
Yeah.
You're feeling better. That's
I don't know so much about feeling better.
I mean,
But,
improving, an improvement.
Yeah, well,
improvement from a year ago, man.
oh yeah. How is Howard hanging his plane in the air?
Let me make him big and he can tell us what's going on.
I levitated.
You look like you're levitating. Oh, now I see
it's hanging from 3 threads with
I got it now. Okay.
It's in the center.
So that's your Vanessa CG machine, Howard?
Yeah, it's not Vanessa though. It's
Mary Lou.
Yeah, it's Mary Lou.
Yeah, we don't want to
get too much shine on that thing there, Russ.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of blinding as it turns certain ways.
That looks like plastic, Howard. It looks like not even like it's wood. It doesn't look like wood at all.
You should be in the front row, I would say, on that one.
Oh yeah. Well, you haven't seen it up close.
No, well, yeah, that's true. They always look better on film or on camera and from further away. That's true.
Yeah, I got those filters on here to make it look good.
There you go.
That looks good. That looks very good, Walter.
Can you get those filters? Can you get those filters on the judges' glasses?
I'm working on it.
You say, here's a new set of glasses for you.
And that's electric, right?
Yeah.
That's the one you've been working on all last year?
Yes.
Looks nice.
Thank you.
Really nice.
Thank you.
Well, listen, I'm not going to stay on long. Okay, but I just wanted to update my friends here before any rumors get out. But I will be shutting down.
You will be.
I will be shutting down. I just can't stand up on my own 2 feet. If I do, I have to use 2 canes. Okay, just to stand up. And I'm in excruciating pain. I've literally deleted everything on my website because there's been a couple of people that have been trying to get orders in, and one guy got an order in and paid for it and everything, and I couldn't understand how he did it. And when I went and looked back at the because all I have is time, you and I have spoke, Charles. All I have is time.
Mm-hmm.
But after about 3 hours going over my website, I found a 2019 webpage that I did not delete. Okay. And he actually somehow, I don't know how he got it. And I didn't even know for over a month that he had made the purchase.
Oh,
Because
wow.
I don't check my emails because I'm supposed to be closed, for poor health. I do want to say, I know that you've known it before. A whole bunch of people come in. I do not have cancer. Okay, the tests that came through on the leukemia, I do not have leukemia. Okay, all right. I do have severe anemia. I'm anemic, severe anemic, or severely anemic. Same thing with the iron deficiency. That's so bad that I get I have pains in my hands right now. Okay. And anyway, other than that, my back pains, my knee pains, I just had knee shots 2 days ago, and that's not where the pains that are happening for me to stand up. It's in my shins where the, what is that called again? Oh, goodness gracious. Anyway, I have a problem in the legs, lower legs. Okay. Anyway, it's pretty bad. And thank God they said I'm not dying,
Yes. Thank God for that.
but I can't even get out in the garage and build. Okay. So I haven't been able to work on the prototype of the Predator. I haven't told anyone. And I know
You're telling people now. People are listening.
Well, I know people that are listening or what have you, but I'm sorry, guys. I can't get out there and do anything. And so I think it's just best that instead of hanging on to something that right now can't happen, I just hang up the hat, and if I get better and I can do anything, I will try to do it, but that's about it. And I only have 3 kits up in the garage. So if anybody wants them, they're up for grabs,
What kits are those, Walter?
I've got a plane called the Foxy. It's a little model. Okay. I've got a Fancherized Twister and a Victory, the short fuse version, not short kit. There's a long fuselage and a short fuselage, and they're only about 1 inch or 2 difference. Okay, maybe 3 inches difference in length, but they have a removable wing, 700 squares, I think. It's actually a very big wing, non-flapped. Okay, I made an attempt 12 years ago to make this as a kit, and there was just bad luck surrounding the whole thing because at the time I didn't have a laser or nothing like that. But anyways, other than that, that's about it for now, guys. I don't want to take up your time.
I'll tell you what, Walter, let me be the first to wish you Godspeed on this.
Absolutely.
You gotta
Me too.
look after your health. You got to take care of the issues first. And if the Lord blesses you enough that you get to where you can do it, we'll all be thankful. But first things first, and that's you and your family. God bless you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
thank you.
40, what is it, 48 years I'm in the hobby.
Yeah.
I
Wow,
started this when I'm 11, and I turned 59 the beginning of April. So, it hurts here too.
Oh, I
Here
bet.
and in my, mentally, emotionally, it hurts there too. So, but
Yeah.
anyway, I want to say thank you to everybody that supported me through the years. You know,
You're most welcome.
and you know, if there's anything somebody wants, if I can get my son to do it, you know, in a small thing, like he can't make kits or nothing, but you know, uh, anyway, that's about it for now.
All right. Hey, thanks, Walter. I appreciate that. Let me welcome
All right.
Philip for coming in.
Hi,
Thank
Phil.
you, Philip.
Good
And,
morning. I'm good. Yeah, good morning.
and how you
I've
doing,
lost it.
Phil?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Tired. We went to a Triple Tree yesterday to try to help out with the judging clinic, and it was so windy nobody was flying. But they had they went up to the building and had a good talk. I think it went well. And then Will called me this morning and wondered if I was caught in traffic or something because I wasn't there. I told him no. I wasn't planning to come today. I just went to try to help yesterday, but they had 3 circles going, and the weather was gorgeous, and I heard motors running in the background. So it sounds like Triple Tree is alive and well today. But I made the mistake of going yesterday, and yesterday was terrible. It was so windy, it was ridiculous. But
Where's Triple Tree?
that's in Woodruff, Georgia.
Oh, it is
Woodruff,
Georgia. Okay.
Woodruff, South Carolina.
Oh,
South
okay.
Carolina. It's about an hour and a half from Columbia.
Okay.
The way I drive. Now, the way some people drive 30 minutes from Columbia, but I drive like an old guy because I'm CDL licensed and I can't afford a ticket. But
Yeah.
it's just down in South Carolina. It's the largest grass runway in the world. And I got down there and found out that Mr. Shaw had passed this past year, and that just broke my heart. That was the sweetest old man you could ever hope to meet.
That was the big guy with white hair and
That's
had the
him.
largest collection.
Oh, you can't believe the collection of model airplanes he's got. Walt.
I know.
He's got one of Chip Hyde's biplanes hanging in the building. $35,000 he paid Chip Hyde for that airplane.
Wow.
This
And it's a
gentleman
model.
Yeah,
And
it's one he
a
won
model.
tournament champions with, I think. It's what I was told. Now, whether it's true or not, I don't know, but that's what someone said yesterday. But he's got that one, and he's got some jets, and turbines. He's got some, I don't know, but by and large, most of them are control line. He's got probably 60 control line models in there. He's got everything from, he's probably got more than that. He's got at least 60 around the wall. I don't know how many they stay there all up on top of that room. The education center is one room in this building. And they say that room in there, the roof is completely covered in model airplanes. I don't know, never been up there. But just what you can see, he's got to be 60 models. It's and there's not a dog in the bunch.
Derek
Now Howard's standards of dog, they probably got a few because Howard, some of the planes Howard thinks are an absolute dog of his own are models I'd be proud to fly. But
I understand that.
Howard's got a little different level.
His plane's levitating.
Yeah, Howard's
really.
plane's levitating, yes. Hey, I have a question for you, Phil. Did you capture any gems or gold nuggets from that talk about the?
Yeah, I did.
Well, can you share some with us that you remember?
Well, a few of them, they were talking about about judging in general. And they said, be sure and watch your placement in the wind. And they were talking about just the placement in the wind. And if you, instead of trying to put everything dead downwind, if you'll stagger the outsides to the right of the wind, then the wind will help lift the airplane. But then you have the most line tension when you're coming at the ground. Mm-hmm. Well, I've known that before, but hearing these guys Dale Berry and Randy Smith and Ronnie Farmer telling us this, it just kind of sunk in a little bit more. Okay, it makes sense. I knew to do that, but I never really thought about it helping lift the plane over there and giving you the extra line tension directly downwind behind you. So that worked out well. And then Dale Berry was telling us, he said, when you're flying, from the time you take off till the time the wheels touch and stick, not just touch, but stick.
Yeah.
Pay attention. You need to be making total attention to that airplane. He says, I am the world's worst and I'm notorious for in between maneuvers. The airplane's sitting out there doing that. Don't do that. If you want top scores, plane needs to be steady. You need to be paying attention the whole time and concentrating on that plane. That was two of the biggest things because I'm guilty of that myself. The other thing Dale Berry told me, he said, when you're flying, take your hand and just open your fingers, put it out beside you. Feel where the wind is. Learn to use your hand as a wind gauge, is to just feel where it's coming from instead of trying to feel it in your face and all that. Because if you're doing all that, you're not paying attention to that airplane. Feel it in your hand. I'm the world's worst. I take my left hand. Everybody says it looks like I'm trying to pray. I put my left hand right there on my chest, and that's where I hold it.
Right.
When I flew ignition motors and fuel motors, I always had my stopwatch in my hand right there, and I'd time my laps to see if I'm too fast, too slow, what's going on, what's my total time, and all that. And I got a good stopwatch, and it would tell me all that. I fly electric now. I don't worry about the time. I know what the lap times are going to be. I know how long it's going to fly. I don't have anything in my hand, but I'm still flying in my hand right there. And I got to break myself with that and start putting my hand out here beside me. Just hold it out. It's just at your side and feel the wind. And it made a lot of sense. So I've got to try to start doing that. But just little things like that, just things that everybody knows. But another one. They're really stressing. Randy said, if you'll figure out the sizes of the maneuvers, if you do this maneuver the same size as you do this maneuver, you don't need to worry. You don't need to sit here and worry about the intersection. If you right here start with, if you do them the same size, it's got to end up right there.
Got to end up. You're right. Yeah.
Your intersection's got to be right.
Good
And
point.
overhead's the same thing. And he said, overhead means overhead, not out in front of you. And he said, on the intersections, quit flying these big flats. He said, the easiest way, wait a minute. Let me see if I can get it out. I'll show you the same example I was given. I know I got some changes here. He said, if you want to think about maneuvers, he said, your overhead maneuvers, your stacked eights, your horizontal eights, take out 2 quarters. Right there is what it's supposed to look like. How much of that is touching? Not much. It's not
much.
this. It's not this. And it's not this.
Right.
It's just touches.
Right.
So when that plane comes up, the plane should only fly in the intersection. It should only fly its own length, about 42 inches, and then it should turn and go one way or the other.
All right.
So all this stuff, I never thought about that.
Intersection.
And,
Very good.
So just little things like that were the things I took away from it. But them in themselves was enough to make me think it was worth going. Got me excited enough. Tom called a while ago, and I'm going flying in the morning. So anyway, I think it's pretty neat. I'd love to go back down to Triple Tree, but we had a tire blowout on the way home from Triple Tree. I hit something in the road, and if I blew out one, I'm sure not going down there without any, because that's just stupidity. So
Yes, exactly.
I don't have another tire, and everything around here, all our 2 tire shops that I use around here are on 4-day weeks, and Friday's not one of them. So I couldn't get a tire today. So I'm gonna wait. I'll get a tire Monday, and I'll be ready next time. But this wasn't in the cards for me this time. But I tell you what, if you ever get a chance to go to Triple Tree, go. Place is absolutely gorgeous. It's manicured to the T. The real airplane displays are amazing. It is, like I say, the largest grass landing strip in the world, and it's that's in use, currently in use. There are larger ones, but they were in use in World War II. This one is still in use. There's a Mustang there. I don't know what all's there, but I know there's a Mustang, and there's several other really nice airplanes. There was one I still can't identify. I took some pictures of it. I'm gonna try to find it, figure out what the heck it is. I know I could have asked somebody. There's no fun in that. I want to find out for myself. I'm gonna find it myself. So anyway, it was just a neat trip. We really enjoyed the trip, and the RC displays were incredible. There was RC stuff there that you can't even comprehend some of this stuff. It's so darn expensive. It's ridiculous. I mean, there's jets there that cost in the 30s and $40,000 for a kit. But
models.
Yeah.
Models.
I said, I bet you don't sell too many of those. He said, not a lot, but the ones we sell do well. I said, yeah, when I was young, I bought a J3 Cub, and I ain't talking about a kit. And I gave $19,000 for it. So wow, that's some of these models have gotten just out of sight expensive. And I
So-
figured out how to do something. I've been trying to, John, I don't know why in the world y'all come up with a spar size that I can't comprehend how to make it, but I got me a piece of a hard 332 and cut some 1/4-inch strips in it and put 2 of them together to make a 1/4 by 5/16 spar to go in Pathfinder. And I will have a wing to show you next Friday.
Oh, good.
I don't know. I get things in my head, just can't get them out. I'm stubborn to the fault. I screw myself up a lot. And that one, I've been trying to do it just by the plans. Could not figure out why did they cut that a special size? Why did they cut it that way? And then I kept trying to cut the wood and they look like dog's legs. Go ahead.
That's a thing I always had with John. Remember John when we were first? He comes up with these smaller or odd size, and I'm like, where the hell am I going to get these spars? You know, and he has reasons for it. And
Oh yeah,
they're
you got a good
they're
reason
good
for it.
reasons. They're good reasons, but getting them is different. You know,
Well,
John
yeah,
is a scratch builder, so I think he
Me too.
makes everything. You know, he makes all his own sizes.
I use a balsa stripper.
A balsa stripper, that's it. Yeah.
I use a balsa stripper too. That's what I used on this, but I was going to cut them out a 1/4 inch and cut them on the table saw, mini table saw,
Right.
Dremel.
Right.
But I got thinking I'm going to waste more wood than I'm going to use. So that thing eats so much wood. It eats a 30 seconds kerf every time you cut it. You lose 30 seconds. So I said, well, I want to balsa strip it. How can I do it? And I said, well, it's 330. It's 632. Okay, 332 and 332 is 632. So what if I just put 2 pieces of 332 together? I might put some carbon fiber down between that. No, can't find any carbon fiber. They had it at that show though, buddy. If you had a truck with a 7-foot bed to put it in, because those pieces were 2 inches wide, 0.77, 7 feet long. $13.
Isn't that 3/16?
Oh, they had
3/32
3/16 wide. Yeah. I had about anything you wanted. It was wild. I felt like a kid in a candy store. I could spend a couple $1,000 just real easy. We spent over 100 just in little stuff, but I did finally I got some scimitar props to go on my Air Tiger 36 to
nice.
go on my
That looks
Cavalier.
beautiful.
And I got 2 of those from Randy. And then Randy also had these Thunder Tiger 11 4.5 props that I've heard of them for a year or 2, but I had never seen one. So he
Thunder
had some
Tiger?
of them. I see. So if it's,
You
they're Thunder Tiger. Yeah.
Okay.
They're Thunder Tiger and they're made in China, of course. But anyway, I bought 4 of those and I wanted to buy a whole bag, but there was another guy that wanted some and I didn't want to take all of them with him standing there waiting. So I got 4 and he got 2 and there's 4 left. I got the 4. So we both got some props. Randy said, if you want some, all you got to do is call me. And I got to talk to Ronnie Farmer. As many of you know, Ronnie just lost his wife and he's one of the most meticulous builders I've ever known. And just a great guy. But the funny part of the day for me, Derek Berry got out a guitar and sitting over on the tailgate of the truck, started banging the guitar. And Ronnie Farmer looks at Randy Smith and says, let me borrow your guitar. I'm going to go over here and get him to teach me how to play the guitar. He's going to teach you to play the guitar. Ronnie Farmer could play with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
He can play with Bill Wurbridge and be right in step with him. I mean, Bill may be a little better, and Bill can sing where I don't know about Ronnie's singing voice. I ain't going there. But Ronnie Farmer can play a guitar, buddy. I heard him play several songs, Hotel California, and several songs that just are not easy songs to play, and he was playing the dickens out of them. But all in all, it was just, it was not the day that I expected because of the weather. The wind was blow you down wind. It just, you'd be trying to take 2 steps and take 3 or 4. It would blow and just really blow you. But we had so much fun and met so many neat people. And I cannot think of his name. The guy from South Carolina that drives the yellow Ferrari, Zambelli.
Zambelli.
I can't think of his first name.
Oh, Bob.
He was there.
Bob Zambelli.
Bob Zambelli. There you go. Bob Zambelli. We talked for a long time. We both love cars, and we talked cars for an hour or two. And he's into some of the same stuff I am. I've got a Datsun Roadster that I've had for 47 years now. And everybody's asking, why have you kept it that long? Because I like it. But anyway.
It's a classic.
It is. Yeah. Well, I'm going to tell you a little secret about that. So maybe I can save somebody else some headache. If you have a 20-year-old American car, you have a classic. If you have a 20-year-old Japanese car, you have a headache because the Japanese destroy the parts after 10 years. Just a word to the wise.
Really? Do they really?
Yes, sir. They really do. I have a spare motor. I have a spare transmission. I have several spare parts for mine that I've got by people wrecking their cars and calling me saying, hey, do you want? Yeah, I want it. Whatever you got, I want it. And it saved a bunch of my buddies. There was a whole about 20 of us that had roadsters, and I had parts to help a lot of people out. One whole right side of a car I had, and it came in handy. But I'm down now to just a few parts, and I'm not parting what I've got left. But they're neat cars. I love to drive it. But the only reason I still have it, honestly, because a guy made me an offer, I just should have sold it. I had to refuse it because my daughter said, of all the stuff we've got, the one thing that she wants when I die is that car.
Oh, cool.
I said, you know what? You got it. And she's the
Bless
one
you,
that
John.
said,
Thank you.
good night. Bless you. It's the one thing. She's been an insurance adjuster for many years. She's still an insurance adjuster. It's just now she does it for the state of South Carolina. But she worked for Progressive and a lot of them, and she knows what a headache it is to get parts. But she said, oh, wait, but I want the car. So she's going to get it. My grandson gets my pickup. My daughter gets that car. My other daughter's never told me what she wants except an AR-15, and I guess she'll get it. I hate the gun. I've never said been out of the box. And
What kind of AR-15?
Do what?
What kind of AR-15?
It's a Cobra, or it's got a snake on it. That tells you how much I know about AR-15.
I got a Diamondback.
Yeah, that might be what this is. I don't know. It's got a Cobra on it. That's all I know. I'm not into that kind of gun. It was given to me. My little brother left it to me in his estate, and I have it. But that's about as far as it goes. I don't think it's ever been out of the box since I've had it. And now his shotgun, I use that. And his he was a defense pistol guy, and I shoot several of his defense pistols, IDPA meat pistols, match pistols. In fact, I got my concealed carry with his 9mm. It's I tore the center out of the target and had to ask for another target. And the guy says, you have hit the, okay, clear the range. He went out and set me up another target. And 4 shots later, the center was gone out of it. Let's get back on airplanes. Charles is already.
That's okay.
Yeah, we did. Anyway, but if you
before you get back on airplanes, I just want to say good night.
All righty.
I want to say good night. I want to say goodbye for now. I
All
want to
righty.
say thank you, and I love you guys, and I respect you guys, and I hope my presence has always been a positive one. And when I'm
always good to see you, Bubba.
Good to see you. I'll keep in touch with you, Walter. I'll call you from time to time.
That's fine. When I'm able to stand on I want to speak positively. When I'm able to stand on my own 2 feet, I'd like to maybe restart. But right now, I've got. I'm just. I have to do this.
Yeah.
I have to take an indefinite break.
Absolutely.
Okay, and in this direction. Okay, I will be selling a lot of stuff off because my wife is concerned about the future. Okay, and So from time to time, you might see me sell stuff. Okay.
Well, come on
I
here
do
and let
have
us know
those-
what you got.
Oh, I have those 3 kits that I said, and
Yeah.
you know, I made a bunch of them. Howard bought one. A couple other guys
got
bought
one.
them. Yeah, you got one, and
I think
So I
Mike
got-
Monkey got a couple of them, I think.
he got 2.
I got 7 of Walt's kits downstairs.
Well, thank you. Seriously, thank
Yeah.
you. And anyway, you guys enjoy.
All right.
the-
Hey, thank you, Walter, for coming in. And
Right.
we will see you later, man. I'm believing in that, and I will see you then.
all right.
You take
I
care
love
of
you
yourself,
guys
Walt.
in the
All
Lord.
right, man. Take care,
Talk to you
man.
later, Walt.
All
Take
right.
care, Walt.
Let me catch up on the chat box. Alexander III, he says, good evening, Charles and Big John. I hope
Hey.
that you're all doing well. Greetings from Scotland. And then, of course, Walter had text earlier. He said, hi, guys. We'll try to get on tonight. And he did, to say his goodbyes for now. And I went flying today with 3 other guys, Dave Sabon, myself, Stuart Mossman, and Carl Reed. Carl Reed might be in later on today. And it was a pretty good day. I was flying my white Strega, which was given to me from Ruben McBride, and just doing a little bit more flight trimming on it. And, you know, I've been in touch with Howard. I shared with Howard I don't have it on this computer, but I actually have a borescope that I can connect to my computer. And so I went into the fuselage and snaked down a 3mm camera and shot a video. And I was holding the flap, and actually I had used some popsicle sticks to hold down the elevator, and I was moving the flap to kind of videotape watching the push rod, its action as it's going through its paces, trying to flex. I could see it flexing a little bit. I videotaped it from the flap horn back and videotaped it again from the elevator horn and back. I shared a couple of videos with Howard, and I shared a couple more with Steve Hines, and it was definitely deflecting. But Howard, you was right about the end, because actually when I took the push rod out, the end where the elevator horn is, the ball link is, I think it only probably has something close to like 3/8 of an inch of threads.
Oh, it's wiggly like that.
And it's
Yeah.
wiggling. Yeah, so I'm gonna make a new push rod because it's obviously too short.
Yeah.
And but the push rod was flexing, but the end was flexing. So I feel very fortunate that I did not lose the plane. And so I'm gonna hopefully get that push rod done, because I couldn't get it done in one night. I mean, not without staying up all night. But I hope to get that push rod done this weekend and fly it Monday.
Maybe I ought to check that on mine.
Well, it's easy to check. Just hold the elevator or hold one of them and push it against the other and see if you get any flexing. I'm sure you don't have any flexing in your control system.
Well, I'm on my second push rod, and I don't know. Maybe I need a longer one yet.
Oh, Lord.
I was just looking at Tom. You know Tom Morris. He has a book. It's called Tom's Building Tips.
Mhm.
And he was. So
I
I
am
went to
that.
the section that. Let me see here. Spotlight for everyone. Where is that? Replace spotlight. So this book by Tom Morris is called Tom's Building Tips. And so I went through it, and I saw that he recommends that whatever length you want, as far as the final results of your push rod, to subtract 2 5/8 inches, and then that'll be the size of the carbon fiber tube. So I'm going to do that tonight, or maybe tomorrow. I might start it tonight in the after party. And but yeah, that's what my problem. I really believe that's what it was the not enough threads on the elevator ball link.
Yeah.
That thing's sitting there flexed. Oh Lord, that's a bad place to have flex. Yes, it is. Well, I mean, I was just like, I was kind of happy, but you know what? I actually, it it just really made, I've built quite a few planes, even the ARFs, I've made push rods and all that, never had a problem. And so it just really brought to head the significance of doing that push rod right, the length, you know. And so matter of fact, it's made me even consider to make the push rod even stiffer by cutting it in half and maybe put in some, I was gonna get some drill rod.
That's not what the problem is.
What was that again, Howard?
That's not where the problem is.
Well, I know,
Well-
but I was just thinking about making it even as stiff as possible.
No,
Well-
you don't.
If that push rod is that wimpy, then replace it with a Central Hobbies push rod or one from a kite shop. You get
Yeah.
carbon kite shop.
Yeah.
What kind of shop? I didn't quite get that word, Howard.
Kite shop.
Ite?
Like Charlie
Kite.
Tango, let's see, Echo.
Tango Echo?
Kilo India Tango Echo.
All right.
Kite.
All right. I got it. Kite. A kite shop. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. You know, I can get some carbon fiber rod from a arrow. We have a place not too far from where I live where they shoot arrows,
Yeah,
bow and
that'll
arrows,
work.
and they have
That
a
will
lot
work.
of different size carbon fiber rods there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you can spend some big money. That's another one of my hobbies, and it's
Well,
Well,
unfortunately, I know the owner, and he says that sometimes when they break, people just leave them there. So he makes
They do.
collections for me. So it's about time for me to go visit him again. But I hadn't even used the one that he gave me already. The ones he gave me already, I was probably going to put them in a profile to stiffen up a profile.
well, when you get too many, just we'll take them off your hands.
All right, sounds
I used
good.
to do that. I used to pass them out to guys. There's nothing worse than spending $50 for 6 arrows. Going out and the first time you shoot, the first arrow hits the mark, and you're so proud of yourself, and you shoot the second arrow, and the second one hits the first one and shatters the shaft. That just, that'll not make it. Does not make your whole day.
Well, quit trying to emulate Robin Hood.
Yeah, well, I wasn't trying to emulate nobody. I can't afford to play Robin Hood.
I
Those
have
things are
a,
$12 a piece. I can't afford to play Robin Hood.
I have a comment from John Lytle. He says, Charles, did Dave Sabon mention his epic? John, I've actually seen that epic, and Dave Sabon's, I didn't see, I think it was Jim Armour was the inventor of it or the designer of it. I didn't see the original. I've only seen Dave Sabon's epic, but of Dave's fleet, that is my favorite plane because he has a Super Tiger 60 in it.
Mhm.
And it's as big
Does
as
the head stick out?
I don't remember that part. I don't think it sticks out, but the rudder on that thing is a big rudder. But that is such a macho plane, that epic. And it's the size
It
of
is
my
beautiful.
Strega. I love big planes. So the epic is
Well, that's it.
of all the planes that Dave Sabon flies, the epic is pretty close to the size of my Stregas. And I love it. And then that growl of that, this is a Randy Smith Super Tiger 60. Yes,
It's a
John?
growler then.
Go ahead, John.
I've got a question for Charles III. Has he started on that French design, the Spectra? Is that it? Spectra, yeah. Have we started on that yet, or are you still gathering materials or whatever?
I have an Alexander III. Is his name also Charles?
That's what I mean, Alexander III.
Alexander, go ahead and when you get a chance, go ahead and type in your response and let us know. But anyways, John Lytle, he didn't mention it, but he didn't bring it today. Dave Sabon goes through like a rotation. Like today, he brought out his second Thunderbolt that I know of that he made. He brought out his Thunderbolt today, and that's a real nice example of Dave Warbridge's Thunderbolt.
Bill
And,
Wormers.
and that's a really nice flying plane. And then he'll bring out his Genesis. Then he'll bring out, his other planes. He just has a rotation of planes that he just brings out. He doesn't fly every Friday, but most Fridays Dave Sabon joins me, and I believe Monday, Dave Sabon and Jim Hoffman and myself are going to fly Monday. So I'm looking forward to seeing Jim Hoffman.
Jim Hoffman's out there with y'all now?
Well, he has a family member, a sibling, or someone who lives here in San Diego. And so, or maybe he has some other business, but he's going to be here Monday. I'm looking forward
I'd love to fly with him again. Only place I've ever got to fly with him was VSC, but he is a wealth of knowledge and a lot of fun.
Yeah, he is. Yes, he is. And John Alexander III said, not yet, John.
Okay. Look forward to reports when you get building on it.
Yes. And there was a question from Walter Umlin. He says, how do you feel about Dave Brown shafts?
Me?
I use them.
Yeah,
They're big, but I use them.
I use them. I like the matter of fact, I meant to bring an example because Steve Hines asked about that Thunderbolt, not Thunderbolt, but turnbuckle that Bill Biles made or had made. And he used to advertise them in Stunt News. And I think I have still one in package. And that's what I use the Dave Brown shaft for. Would you? You know what? I will take a break in not too long. Soon I'll take a break, go down my garage and snake one out and show you. So you can see it.
I'm always interested in technology. That is just beautiful. That's the Howard's dog.
Yeah, let me make it big. It looks really awesome. Look straight on.
Oh, yeah.
That's a beautiful airplane.
Well, thank you.
It really is.
Yeah.
Let's stop here by and by. I'm still balancing.
Howard, you have to pull how are you going to pull that thing, the battery out of that thing every time? Turn it upside down and pull the cowl off?
Yep.
Wow.
So are you going to make it balanced where the plans that Paul Walker designed for the impact, or have you come with a different location of the CG you like?
Well, this is electric, so it's farther forward. This is the moral equivalent of a Predator. Not the tradition.
Yeah, I've never gotten to see the plans to the Predator, but when I saw the plane, I've only seen pictures, but it's a gorgeous airplane. I'm surprised Paul doesn't fly it more.
Oh, he's several airplanes beyond that now.
Okay.
Hey, Dennis Adamison's in the house. Thank you, Dennis. I appreciate you coming
Dennis.
in.
Hi,
Good
guys.
to see you, Captain.
And,
look at the lead outs. Look at the lead outs.
You like that style? I like that style.
Yes,
too.
sir. Yes,
I've
sir.
done
That's
that.
light. It's very light and it works.
Yeah.
First one I saw do that was Billy Wurbridge, and it works.
Yeah.
I asked him about it, and he says, if it works, don't fix it. How am I going to argue with Billy Wurbridge?
Only problem I've had is that my lead out wire actually will saw through the brass eyelet.
Billy used nylon. I forgot what you call that thing.
A Delrin or Delrin?
It looked like a piece of inner nylon, and he had put it over it and cut it so it would go over it. And then he pinched it together to go in the wing. And then when he got in the wing, he used a tiny drop of CA to tack it in place. And when I say a tiny drop, you put a drop of CA on the end of a toothpick and then put that on there, a tiny drop. And he says it's never slipped, never any problem. You want to get it out, you put a little debonder. I forgot what he called it, but it's debonder. Nitromethane. I have some debonder downstairs. It's straight from a friend of mine who drag races Harley Davidson motorcycles. It's called pure nitromethane.
Yeah.
And that will debond CA quick.
That's what you do. Yeah, I found that out flying free flight. I CA'd my timer together and running 70%.
Yeah, I've had the same experience, Howard. It's something you only do once.
These lead outs were made by Jim Lee made them, but they're made out of I guess J is the material. It's slippery stuff.
Mm-hmm. Very slick.
Yeah.
So Jim Lee sells them. Is that it goes
No,
over the lead outs?
He doesn't sell them. Michael Murray sent him some stuff, and he made some for him, and Mike gave me some. Roy Tranum had some made from Delrin or some plastic. I think
Delrin, yeah.
And Bob Hunt had some, and Paul Walker had some, and Paul said, "Here, you can have a pair." And I said, "Well, that's okay. I've already stole a couple from you." That's what I got in my other. But this should be slipperier, so this would be better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried brass, and I actually on my Nobler, mine actually sawed the eyelet, and it had an edge that was just a problem. So I kind of gave up on that. But if I find a suitable material, I would like to go back to that system.
Brass is a suitable material, usually. Maybe you had stuff or something.
My lead outs just started sawing through it.
Yeah.
What were your lead outs made of?
I imagine stainless steel.
Bet you had a wire that was loose or something, or once in a while it doesn't hurt to put a little oil on those just to keep them from tarnishing. Because if they tarnish, the tarnish manifests itself as a rough finish, which will eventually burn through something. But you must fly a lot more than you let on, Charles, because it takes a while to saw through those things.
Yeah.
But they will, you can damage them, but there's more than one way to skin a cat. I mean, there's always a way. Doggone, that thing's pretty. Howard, you've modified the rudder on that thing.
Yes, I did.
That's pretty.
That is beautiful. That is a really nice.
Well,
I realize that I see
Oh,
things
man.
I'm not supposed to see.
That angle is just amazing there. Look at that.
Yeah. That is a fearsome looking bird.
Sparky posted some Bill Nets videos. I was watching that, and he said one of the reason he makes his ugly vertical stabilizer, and it's so it won't stall in the crosswind. It's really low.
Okay.
I figured that's a good idea. So
That is a good idea. That is a good idea. I like the little yellow stripe down the length of the plane. That's pretty cool. I'm bad about, I'll have a stripe going all the way to the front of the plane and I can't resist. I put a zigzag in it, but it doesn't help me fly the plane any better. I'm telling you, it throws your eye off when you're flying it.
Yeah, you see that zigzag and you do the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Now it's 6 because that's your 6th one.
Yeah.
Awesome. Beautiful. That is really nice.
The paint pattern matches at the leading edge.
Yeah, that is really neat. Wow. That is awesome.
I liked your other paint scheme and wanted to copy it. I like this one, but you're on your own, brother.
That is
beautiful. That one is beautiful, but I don't begin to know how to comprehend how to copy that. That looks like a whole lot of taping.
Yeah, it is. It looks like an engineer trying to be an artist.
Yeah.
You did it though.
Yeah.
That's really gonna pop in the sunshine too.
Engineers go one of two ways. They either take the simplistic route and find the easiest way to do a job, or they get so dang complicated. And my engineer at work was one of the ones that did it the most complicated way possible. And I'm afraid some of that rubbed off on me, but now I'm working with a guy part of the time when I don't see him that often, but when I get to work with him, he takes the most simplistic way. And I've tried to do it his way do a few things his way, and his way works better than the complicated way.
Yeah.
That right there is just really pretty though. I mean, if that one don't end up on the front row, I want to have a talk with the judges.
that one don't end up on the front row because there's stuff here you can't see from.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what I can see is sure pretty.
No, there's some crude places here.
Okay, if you say so, brother. But I'm telling you, that is a pretty airplane.
Well, thank you.
It really is pretty.
Eventually, I'll get the CG right.
Oh, well, now when you're doing all this to get your CG right, don't do like I do. Remember to put the 440s that hold the cowl on. Put them in there too when you're weighing it. Otherwise, you become nose heavy. And it sounds like
I just put
440s.
Yeah.
Oh, you put them in? Okay. It sounds like 440 screws can't throw the weight off, but trust me, it can.
Yep.
Very
That is
nice.
so pretty. That
Very
is so
nice.
pretty. Golly. Howard, I'm going to have to come to the Nationals just to see that plane in person.
I don't know that it will be there.
Oh, come on, Howard. You got to come this year.
I'm going to another contest next week.
You're going to the Worlds, I know.
Yeah, there's a contest in Germany the week before. So
Okay, yeah.
Joe Gilbert and I decided we'll go to that contest too. Then we'll go to the World Cup contest before the World Champs. Then we'll be all warmed up. Well, yeah, Joe's not going, but I'm still going to Germany.
Mm.
Wow.
Well, I tell you what, that is a beautiful thing there.
You said that.
I have a comment from John Lytle. He says, maybe we can get a picture of the Epic. I'll look for his email. Thanks, Charles. And then
I'll look through my stuff tonight. I've got pictures of the Epic at BSC, the original.
I think he wants
And
to
I
see
don't know
what,
why he brought it, but he did.
I think he
I don't
wants
know
to
why
see
he
what
brought
Dave.
that.
I think he wants to see Dave Sabon's Epic, I think.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
And then the T-Bone 1260, he says Howard's craftsmanship is impeccable. His last dog was flawless. Best of luck to you, Howard. Tom Luciano.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom.
I tell you what, I'd love to build dogs as pretty as he builds.
Yes.
Because
Well,
if he ever gets one he don't think's a dog, it's going to really be spectacular. This is gorgeous.
Well, we're at 29 concurrent viewers and we have 16 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do that. And so thumbs up, please. And don't forget the super chat and the memberships. We have 0 memberships, so consider joining and supporting this channel. I wanted to ask everybody, this is Friday the 13th, right?
It is.
Mhm.
I'm just curious if anybody has any superstitious habits as far as competing, something you do that brings you good luck or something you definitely try to not do to give you bad luck. Do you have any superstitions or anything you guys have?
The only thing that I do is I don't look at the scores until I finish flying. Because if you walk up and you think, well, I only need 6 more points and I can beat him. Okay, has he flown his second flight yet? Because if he hadn't, he might come up 6 points too. You know.
Yeah, right.
But you try too hard and fly into the ground, tear stuff up. I just go out. My only rule of thumb, and Luke told me this a long time ago. He says, go out and don't go out there like I gotta win. Go out there and fly it like you're at your home field and it's just a fun Saturday and you're out flying for fun. Fly the best you can. Don't think about the judges. Don't think about nothing else. Just go out, relax, and have fun. Because after all, we're grown men playing with toy airplanes. Have fun.
Gotta
That's
agree
the
with
big
you
thing.
on some of that, Phil, but I find that I'll go look at the score after my first flight, somewhere in there. And I do that for this reason. If I'm within a reachable number that I might be able to reach, I found that the key to getting those extra points is to pay attention, that really concentrate on your airplane. Whatever way you concentrate best, you will pick up points. And, and having the goal there set in front of your eyes, this has worked for me several times in contests. So I do that for that reason.
Yeah, it works, but I'm one of those that worry himself to death. So I go out and just try to relax.
Sure, we're all different, you know. I start out way too relaxed. And so if I want to pick my score up, I have to concentrate. I have to bear down, knuckle down, buckle down, do it.
Well, Tom always tells me, he says, before the first flight, he always tells me, just go out, relax, and get a feel for the plane, get a feel for the air, get a feel for everything. You should have done that in your practice flights. And I know that.
Yep.
But we go out and fly like that and just try to get the first score in and do the best you can, but get the bugs out, you know, get the nerves clear. Then come back and we'll dry fly it a time or two. And I know we look stupid standing over, you know, doing all that stuff, but dry fly it a time or two. And then the second flight, go out and polish what you did the first flight. That's what he always tells me. Just polish what you did the first flight and you'll be fine. And it's always worked. I mean, I've been beaten a few times now. Don't get me wrong. I don't win every time by a long shot. Dale Berry's father whooped me a couple of times when I thought I had it knocked, and he come in and pulled a rabbit out of his hat. Of course, a few weeks later, he went and won the darn nationals in old time, so I didn't feel so bad about it. But you just do the best you can. If you're a person that's wired too tight, like I've always been, try to calm down. If you're a person like Luke that's so calm it's ridiculous, I don't know what to tell you to do. Tommy is just one of the most relaxed competitors I've ever seen, or he appears to be. He may be all pins and needles on the inside, but outside he's cool as a cucumber. And he goes up there and he watches the other competitors, and he'll watch and see what they do and where they're doing, what they're doing, and go look at the scores and say, okay, they're liking big maneuvers, or they're liking small maneuvers. And he'll go over and give the judges what he thinks they want, and it works out well for him. The toughest place Tommy and I have ever competed is Tucson, because we're not used to that wind. We had to do new propellers, undercambered props, and everything to get ready to go to Tucson. And then since we got the prop situation figured out, neither one of us has been able to go back. But Roy Trantham took one of our propellers, one Tommy made, out there and did well with it, but broke it before the competition started. I don't know what happened, but just one of those things. You just do the best you can, but the big thing in the contest, Jack, please, the big thing in the contest is just relax. If you go out there all bundle of nerves, you're going to tear something up.
The thing is, for me, I do much the same way as you do, except I used to do both flights relaxed, way too relaxed. Yeah. And so going and looking at that score, and if I was in a reachable, what I thought I could reach it, then I would knuckle down on it. I would concentrate. I would, really pay attention. And usually I'd pick those points up. But I didn't learn that until just about the last year I've been actively flying, before I got to
Luke, accident. Don't get me wrong. Now, I don't look at scores. Luke goes and looks at my scores. He may not look at his, but he looks at mine. And he'll come back and he says, if you just relax and fly like you can fly, you can win this thing.
Yeah.
And I'll go out and knuckle down a little bit, and he'll tell me your overheads are a little bit in front of you, or you're flying too big a flat in this, or you're flying, whatever. And one of our guys came out and he says, what do I need to do? I need to win. What do I need to do? Oh, no, we ain't got enough time.
Well, Gordon Delaney used to do the same thing for me, Phil. But for some reason or other, it didn't work well for me coming from someone else, even someone like Gordy. But it worked better for me to go look at it myself. Now we're basically doing the same thing as you come around here. You're using the score. You're getting your motivation from the possibilities if you can, knuckle down. Yeah, and that's probably the way if we get with it, even those that look like Looper, look like they're just out there for a Sunday fly.
He could fly a brick.
Yeah. Yeah. So Bart Kopinski can do the same thing, you know.
Yeah, Bart's another one.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like that's competition. Everybody has their way of you know, and I think that's what Charles is asking us for, is to talk about how we prepare for, or what our methods, or, you know, even the staff. Have you ever watched Gordon fly when he's flying competition? He does the same thing. He puts his hand up there. You know why he puts it up there and leaves it there? He told me, because when you got this hand out here and you're waving it around, distracts the judges.
Well, they all ask me, what are you praying about? I said, I want a good score.
Well, there's a lot of guys out here out west that fly that way, put their hand right here in the middle of their chest.
Yeah, I've seen it.
That's the way I fly. That's the way I fly.
They put their handle right in the center of their body. So they're
well, me too. But you know where I got that from? I went to the Nationals, and I have grown up since third grade when I got into model airplanes. 6 years old. I mean, 6 years old. 9 years old. Third grade, and we started getting Model Aviation magazine, or Model Builder. I've forgotten what it was called. Model Builder was one of them.
All American Model.
American Model. There you go. At the library at school, because the librarian's husband was in the model airplanes, and she says, I bring them in here before I throw them away. Leave them in here a month before I throw them away. So anyway, I started hearing about this guy, Billy Werwich. And I kept hearing Billy Werwich and the man. And that's all I read about for years, Billy Werwich. Then I started hearing Jim Lynch came out with a Bearcat, and I love Bearcats. So I started watching Big Jim Lynch, who if Big Jim says something, I'm going to take notes. Mm-hmm. Anyway, just several of the guys that I really thought were great flyers and coming up, I tried to emulate what they were doing. But Billy Werwich, first time I saw him actually fly, was at the 77 team trials. And that hand was right there. So I started putting my hand there, but I started using my clock, and I just, look at my clock. But now that I'm flying electric, I don't need the clock. So I still got my hand right there. But the guys in Charlotte all ragged me about, why are you praying in the middle of a flight? Get that hand down. That's where I'm comfortable. If it's not there, it's out here. And if I got it sticking straight out, I fly to that and I start my maneuver, and I come back, and I know that's where my intersection's supposed to be. But then it gets in the way of the wires, and I have hit the wires on my fingers, and it makes the airplane do something weird. And you don't want to do that. Don't get in the habit of that, because it can be a problem. But if you're doing a wing over, when you're doing your wing overs now, you can put an arm straight out this way and pop over this way, and you'll almost naturally fly to that hand. I don't know why, but you will almost naturally fly to your other hand and pop it out, bring it around, just leave a hand where it was. And when you know you're straight out as far as you can go, that's where you bring the plane up. You come back and you fly to that hand and drop the hand before the plane gets there and pull out. I don't know why, but it works. And I told two or three other people to try it, and it works. Go ahead.
Now, myself personally, is I try not to have any caffeine before the contest because I'm already pretty excited. I don't know if you can tell, I get excited. So I just want to amplify my excitement. So I have no caffeine until after the second round, and then I'll have caffeine.
Guys, can the rest of you that know Charles, I've only met him a couple of times at a couple of contests, and I don't think he knew who I was at the time. Can you imagine Charles excited?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
That would be wild.
Right. Yeah.
Because you're a bundle of energy anyway.
Yeah, but you're excited about a contest, and then to get amped on caffeine is a terrible concoction. That's something I try to avoid. So I avoid caffeine until after all my official flights, and then I can do some caffeine.
Well, I'll tell you one thing: don't drink a Mountain Dew before a flight, because you will. If it don't send you to the restroom, it'll make you jump around. But I don't worry about caffeine. I'll have a cup of coffee or tea or something in the morning because I'm the opposite. If I don't have some, then I get a darn caffeine, go into caffeine withdrawal or something. I get a god awful headache. And the soda, the Mountain Dew will take care of it, but it'll give you that rush. And I don't want the rush. But I do when I do that, I leave the sugar out. I'll go sugar free that morning.
Now, Terry Forbes, he says, it's a lucky day for my family. My oldest son was born on Friday the 13th. Terry and the Pirates, South Florida. Thank you, Terry, for coming in. And Tom Rammel says, like provided. And yes, Walter, happy birthday to your eldest son, Terry.
Happy birthday to him.
And you know what? I was watching, for those of you who don't know, the guy that used to run the show, Rusty Knowlton, I was watching his channel, matter of fact, there's some noise in the background. I wonder who is that? Is that you, Walter? Do you have
I have no sound.
Okay, here's something.
That's probably me. Let me mute it and see if it gets rid of it.
Yeah, that's it. That was you, Phil. Thank you. Anyways, I was watching a couple shows last night of Rusty Knowlton doing the Stunthangar video hangouts, and I saw Terry Forbes in there when he was in the show, and Wally Haskett, Mike Lonke, some other people. I can't remember who else was in it, but it was great just watching the guys. So if you get a chance, go to Rusty Knowlton's YouTube channel. You can watch. I mean, the information that they were talking about, this is back in 2017, I believe. It's still relevant today. So if you have watched all of the shows that I've hosted, go back and watch some of the ones that when Rusty hosted it. And they're really, really good. There was some good info. I can't remember specifically anything particular, but they're very good. So I was just in my shop last night getting ready to go fly today, and I was watching the old master, Rusty Knowlton, and very good show. So check them out. So Dennis, what you been up to, Dennis?
I'm sorry again.
So what you been up to?
I've been trying to work on an airplane here. It's a month till Brodak, and just determined that the MoBest will be legal for NOS 30.
Oh, cool.
And I figured that'd be a good way to show it off at Brodak, maybe help them move some kits and stuff like that. So I've been trying to get it covered. Had a month ago, I figure, what the heck, and give it a shot. And that's a profile NOS 30 and probably Pampa. I'm expecting to have a car full of other airplanes and stuff like that. So if I got an empty space, it would come in handy. So
what motor did you put in?
Let's say 2826 Brodak.
That's what I put mine.
Very good.
I
That's what I'm
did.
putting in.
I really debated with it. It will be a one of a kind though. It'll have the airplane was built for a Aviastar
Dual motor. Yeah.
Yeah, it was built, and I've got one of my brother, one of the last things he made a mount that'll bolt onto that. So it's kind of a shame I'll be, showing it off with that mount, knowing that that's the last one that'll probably ever be. So personal.
Y'all haven't had any luck getting into his files then, huh?
Got into his files, but so far at least nobody. My nephew he's in this deep with his indoor stuff, and he hasn't been able to do anything with it. So he started printing props for indoor models, and he's doing 2, 3, 4. He has a 5 blade that he printed up. They're light and they work. He got them approved for use. A lot of the events they're restricted to a plastic prop. Which usually means one of those red, caissons or whatever they are. And they've approved his stuff, so he can do some special tweaks with, blade shape or pitch or diameter or something like that.
Yeah.
He made one for, there was a guy with one of his buddies has a peanut scale Corsair. And he was having a devil of a time with motor torque. The beginning of the flight, there's a lot of torque and, the low wing, gull
Those
wing.
small wings. Yeah.
And so my nephew made up a 4-blader for it that was like 1.5 inches smaller in diameter. I don't know what he did with the pitch, but I mean, right out of the box, it was an improvement. He was able to fly the airplane a lot better. And so it's kind of a new, just new ground, for the indoor guys now. So the last meet he went to, the big meet up in Pontiac, Michigan, in the I think it was a nickel scale class. His props got the first 5 places, and
Wow.
and he's only sold 50 of them or so, and they're starting to show up already. So
Very, very
it's a
cool.
good thing.
Very cool.
That
Yeah, I
is
have
neat.
a request from Walter Umlum. He wants to share something. Walter, are you ready to share
Go
that
for it, Walt.
photo?
Absolutely.
And you're muted, Walter, because of that sound. You got to unmute yourself.
Unmute. Okay, I got it.
All right.
Philip was mentioning earlier, but just before I guess after I left, I don't know. But I had the chat up on the YouTube, and when I went to shut it, I said, "Oh, let me see if I can respond to that." Anyway, I want to share see if this comes up for you guys. See, okay, there you go. Did that come up, guys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Predator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
So that's what
what
it
it-
looks like.
that's what it was going to be in the kit. And here's the CG that
Yeah.
Howard was looking at before on his. But anyway, this was basically 90% done, 99% done. There was a couple. Open the door for mom. Okay. So that would have been it.
Walt, if you ever get back to the point you can sell plans, you got this one and the laser. I'd love to have plans too.
I mean, printing a plan is not a problem.
Well, tell me what you want for that one and a set of plans to the laser, and I'll send you some money.
Okay. Like right now, I can't even get out there.
Well, I know, but I'm saying when you can, send me call me or something when you can, and I'll take it. But I don't want you to do anything silly right now. Just take your time. Your health is the most important thing. Get healthy again.
You guys see this?
Yeah, we do.
Yes,
it looks
sir.
great.
Yes, sir. That is
Absolutely.
I'm looking at it and I'm like, wow, that looks good. I've seen Jim Hoffman has a Predator, and I've seen Jim Hoffman's. I didn't see Howard's. I've seen what do you call that? The Anteater. I've seen Paul's new plane.
Yeah, I've seen the Anteater. That's
I
wild.
have not seen the but I have not seen Paul's Predator, but I've seen Jim Hoffman's. It looks good.
Now, the only problem that I feared I would run into, I basically spoke to Paul about this way back when, is the cowling and the nose. Basically, he said the strip plank right here by the engine, the motor, I mean,
Yeah.
where it goes from his. Do you see my mouse moving,
Yeah,
guys?
we did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, this was going to be the mount where the motor
Mhm.
mounts to, or the system, okay, which is right here. And from here to the nose ring, he said to strip plank it. And okay, but how do you strip plank it when this has nothing to hang on to? The nose ring. So I still haven't built the fuselage or the tail section. And the only thing that needs to be done is the wingtip needs to be sanded. It's sanded this way, you know, on the sheet to follow the wing airfoil,
Mhm.
but I haven't rounded it. And it's been sitting on my workbench more than 6 months. It's basically 2 years. That's how bad I have been feeling.
Right.
Mm.
Now, does he detail how to hold the battery in there? I'm.
Yes. Let me see if I
Can you make
zoom
it
this-
bigger? You're at 100% now. Can you make it bigger for me?
Yeah, I want to see if I can zoom that in. Did it zoom, guys?
Yes. It
Yeah.
did,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Over here, see these 2 tracks?
Right.
Yeah.
Those are these little things here. They look like Humpty Dumpty. Let me see if I can add another picture in there. Do you see my pictures?
Not
Nope.
yet.
No, not yet. But what I'm seeing, I'm intrigued by.
Huh. Anyways, while you try to figure that out,
Yeah, while I try to figure that out.
Tom Ramble says like provided, and we have 20 likes now. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I think when I asked earlier, we're down to 16, and our viewership has gone down a little bit too. So, but thank you for that. And let me see what else we have going on. I think I'm all caught up on the chat box. Let me reduce you down here until you figure that out. And oh, and Howard, I wanted to ask you, could you turn your phone to the side because your plane is in the portrait, it's not in landscape anymore.
It's on the side. I can,
There we go.
There you go.
Excellent. Thank you. Hey, and Brent Williams, I think, is trying to come in.
Oh, cool.
That's great. Hey, Brent, thanks for coming in, Brent. Appreciate it.
hi, Brent. Happy birthday.
Is it your birthday, Brent?
His
That's what
audio
it,
still coming in.
that's what it said on Stunthangar.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Brent.
Hey, thanks. It's coming up Tuesday.
All right.
Be
I
40.
didn't realize you and I had birthdays so close together.
When's your birthday, John?
Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
I'll see if I can
Fantastic.
get my phone set up here. I'll show you guys something. It's kind of
Oh,
fun.
Well,
great.
you're bouncing all over the place.
Yeah, he's more excited than I am.
Yeah.
Make you big,
You
Brent.
guys, John, I think mentioned a couple times the carbon tube fuselage thing that.
Oh, wow. I've heard of that, but I've never seen that.
So these are 16 millimeter carbon tubes. It's a 0.5 millimeter wall thickness, so it's 15 millimeter ID. And
Neat.
so this is for an impact wing, and I haven't finished making the little compartment. The ESC and the timer will sit in here, and then the 6S batteries will sit up here. It'll be a rear mount firewall, and then I'll make some sort of firewall, or excuse me, some sort of cowl looking thing, and then it'll have a carbon landing gear on it from Hobby King. So, so if you can see here, these are laser cut little balsa saddles that I made, and then they're capped on both sides with 64th plywood. So by the time you join it all together, it's a pretty stiff little assembly. And then
Yeah.
the landing gear version up here is thicker. So these are 3 sections of 1/4 inch, and then up here for the landing gear and for the motor mount area, it's 4 sections of 1/4 inch, and then capped with 64th ply on both sides. So you can see that's where the motor will bolt to, and then this is a big air hole that'll go right. It'll direct the air right onto the ESC, which will sit right here. So it'll be just blast on the ESC with prop wash and prop blast. And it's stiff. I mean, it's
Didn't want to twist?
yeah, it doesn't want to twist. So it's
This is a dumb question. This is a profile.
there's a
or-
profile.
Okay, I just want to be sure I wasn't looking at a built-up ship.
So 16 millimeters is just right around 5/8 of an inch. So, and then these little things right here are sized just below 3/4 of an inch thick. So I think I've made them at 19 millimeters or something like that, just so nobody at a contest would give me any guff about being thicker than 3/4 of an inch. So, and then I used RC car tire glue to join the carbon tubes onto these formers or whatever you want to call them. And that stuff, once you kick it, it locks hard. It's a good glue. The Bob Smith stuff, you can actually make push rods out of it too. It's extremely tough. And then,
Wow.
so there's this is 16th inch basswood that is kind of like a saddle area. So as you can see, once you jig it against the table, these things lay flat, and then you take 1, 2, 3 blocks to push these basswood pieces 100%. They're absolutely 90 degrees to the carbon. So you
Right.
glue those on there, and then that creates an absolute, perpendicular thing. So when you put your stab onto it, that that's dead flat because you use the
Okay.
1, 2, 3 block located off of a flat table. So anyway, kind of cool. And then it'll use I'm using a impact sheeted foam wing from Tom Dixon. So
Nice.
yeah, he does he's not as pricey. Bob Hunt's overall, I thought Bob Hunt has, the quality's nicer, but the cost is so much more. Tom Dixon's wings they're nice, don't get me wrong, but kind of
So
cool.
is that a self-portrait there hanging on the wall behind you?
So
Yeah, I think your daughter drew you, I think.
no, actually that was my son. That was a portrait of his elementary school principal.
Oh,
That was his interpretation of what
it's
the
interpretation,
principal looked like.
yeah.
So you can see her stringy, stressed out hair, and she was short and kind of wide, so
Yeah, yeah.
Very cool.
anyway,
Very
that's
cool.
the cool little carbon tube project that so the whole impetus behind this is that as balsa gets scarce or not in hobby shops, you could order these tubes off of Amazon or wherever, and with minimal balsa, and if it turns out being okay, I'll probably just release these cut files out to the wild, and if anyone wants to try and build it, more power to them. They can have the cut files. And
What are
then,
you sheeting it with?
nothing. It's just going to get film. So
Wow.
Wow, that's interesting. I was expecting it to be sheeted. Wow, that's a very
no,
yeah.
so the whole idea on this is that it's minimal effort, minimal finishing, and it's absolutely stiff. And hopefully it'll be like when Bob Branch out there with Dennis Adamson did his version of this. It was as stiff as an RFS V11, so, and he was using smaller tubes than I'm using. So the idea is that hopefully that you'll be able to create a ship that's as stiff as a full body ship and appropriate in the same weight range and just greatly reduced effort, almost no finishing, and kind of break down some of the barriers in stunt. I appreciate, it's like I'm around Gordon here and he's a concourse finisher, world-class finisher, and I'm not. I want to fly. And this, if it can reduce some of the steps to getting somebody a competent, good ship, this is going to be an impact, so
wow. Yeah.
if it allows you to build an impact with very little effort, then that's the goal, is to get people flying good planes faster and spend less time in the basement finishing, so
Yeah. Yeah, good idea. I look forward to
we'll see if it turns out, and if it turns out and it's stiff. And so my goal weight for this, Paul Walker's mentioned that his best weight for impacts was 64 or 65 ounces. So that's a pretty good window. That's my goal weight for this with the battery installed is to, and so right now it's like overall the weight of this right now is, I can weigh it real quick, but it might seem a little heavy, but there's going to be almost no finish on it. So by the time at the end of the day, I'm anticipating 60 to 64 ounces all done with the 6S battery installed. So that's not too bad for a big impact. So
Yeah, keep us appraised of your progress. I'd like to see how that looks when it's done.
Yeah, me too.
And a next version of this, I'll 3D print these and see if that is an acceptable solution, because as we move into the future, just about anybody will be able to know somebody that has a 3D printer and could print off these things. And then the way it goes together, it's fairly self-jigging. So a person could slam together a plane pretty quick, you know, and if there's foam wings out there, and then like Bob Hunt's lost sheeting method. So if you know, if appearance isn't as big of a deal for you and you just want a good flying plane, there's some cool options out there that a person could use or try if they're so inclined, I guess. So,
Yeah.
so
Well,
I could have.
with that in mind,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was going to say with that you're talking about making it easy where anybody can do
That's
it.
my new one.
The Teosaki was designed when that thing was designed. The idea behind that was Teosaki stands for the end of stunt as we know it. He wanted to build a plane that anybody could build, anybody could fly, and he didn't have to have too much technology to do it. And he got rid of the flaps on the thing because he didn't want you to have the complexity of flaps. Then the elevators and stab was made in a way that you didn't have to cut hinge pockets. You built the hinge pockets, and it was all built. You slide your hinges in it, and the whole plane was like that. And then Walt did a plane called a Sakatumi that's pretty darn close, and it was kind of the same thing. But I think that's going to be a neat idea. I want to see it when you get it finished.
That's kind of cool. You know, I like flapless planes for what they are, but once you fly a real flapped stunt ship, you're kind of like, oh, this what's
That's
Well-
what it's all about. Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Gordy let you
I would
fly
agree.
his Pathfinder LE, right?
Yeah,
I would agree with you. I would agree with you, but there's people like no, I can't think of his name. Won the nationals with the Trivial Pursuit. I cannot call it.
Ted,
blank.
Ted Fancher.
Ted Fancher, you know, did all the stuff that he did, won the nationals, everything else. The last two planes that he came out, the last two planes he came out with that I know of were the Doctor and the Medic. Neither one of them are flapped. You fly one of them and you wonder, do we really need flaps? That Doctor flies great.
They fly great. They just the turn isn't as pretty. You know, it's like if you're trying to make your turns look like pro turns, you know, a flapless ship kind of jumps into the turn and a flap ship does the nice, you know. Whoop.
Well, that's true. That's true.
You know,
but I tell you one thing, it's nice when you're learning to have a ship that'll turn. You can fly it straight down to 3 feet and still make it.
That's where Phil Cartier's wings, you know, his concept of building a foam wing plane where the wing slides into the plywood saddle and you can replace the wing and the controls are external, you know, everything.
Well, yeah, that's true.
In the breeze. And that's what I learned the pattern with. I have a plane. Let's see if I can get it.
Yeah,
Anybody that don't know, Phil Cartier makes the leading edges for the Teosaki. And they were kind of in league with each other. Oh, that's sharp.
So this thing's still broken from the last time I crashed it. So, but this is what I learned the pattern on. It was my Trailblazer plane is what I called it. And so this is one of Phil Cartier's foam wings, and all the controls are external, you know, out here.
Yep.
And as you can see, all the Gorilla Glue and packing tape on the wing. I've broken this wing 15 times and put it back together.
Sounds like one of my planes that I tried to teach people with years ago.
So you probably had a lot of fun with it though, Brent.
Oh yeah, it's wonderful. Yeah, it's LA 46 on it. Runs like a top, plastic tank, and just you gotta love. Here's my my tip weight adjuster. You like the
Oh.
orange duct tape there?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Orange
Nice
duct
touch.
tape.
Nice touch. And I like
Yeah.
your Max header. I like that
Cable's gone.
muffler also.
Me too.
Yeah, they work pretty good. I was trying to decide. I mainly had it on there for weight. I used to have a landing gear on it, but
What the back of the body look like?
I'll show you.
Light streak?
It looks like this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's not bad. Oh,
They're
very nice.
kind of Pathfindery. So
Yeah. Okay.
Very
it's
cool.
like a bubble
Cha-ching.
had
I
a
like your tail skid too. That was kind of neat.
yeah.
Hey,
But
Brad,
so
Pathfinder,
like I like to use the analogy that crashes were an inconvenience, not a catastrophe. So
Right.
That's it.
Yeah,
Wait,
one
look
guy
at it.
told me, what was it? Takeoffs are optional, but landings are mandatory, or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you put it up,
Yeah.
it's got to come down. We ain't left one up there yet.
Yeah, it looks good.
yeah, it was fun. So yeah, that's what I learned to fly the pattern on. I liked that a lot. And then once I got decent on that, Gordon Delaney started turning me loose on his planes, and that was like a revelation. Like, oh okay, this is
what it's supposed to fly
this is
like.
what it's supposed to fly like. So that was
Yeah.
pretty awesome.
Did,
So,
did Gordon
Very
fly
cool.
twin yet?
no, they were working on today. They were working on the fuel tank on his big Tony. They fixing the uniflow in that or something. So I've got to mix them up some fuel actually. So
Okay.
Hey, would you do me a favor? Do you have a handle kit available by chance to show off? Hey, Kathleen or Caffeine. I see you there for a second. Hey, Caffeine. And
There he is.
so
while you do that, I'm gonna go find the Bill Biles adjuster thing. I'm gonna go in my garage.
Yeah.
You want to
So-
just want to showcase that while I'll be back. So I'll be
All
back,
right.
you guys. And if you can explain that, just give me a few minutes to get back. I'll be
you
back.
bet, I'll be
guys.
right there.
Let me show the nose of that. All right.
What was that again?
I'm going to show the nose that they were asking.
Oh, you got it figured out? Okay, hang on a
Yeah, I
second.
did.
Hang on. Let me have Brent do this so it gives me
Okay.
time to get back. So
Not a problem.
you're big, Brent, and I'll be back.
All right. So these kits are going out tomorrow to Joe Ed Peterson. So, but in the kit, you get a nice bag to put your handle and your end of your lines in. So then you get a hardware bag with a nice
There we go.
restraint. I hesitate to call these a thong because today's day and age, but so this is paracord now. And I use a nice thing on there so that's nice and tough.
So did you
Yeah.
take over doing Tom's handles, or are these your own?
So when Carl Shoup died in Colorado, he was the one who
Right.
Ted had allowed to do the Fancher handle.
Right.
So when Carl died, I got permission from Ted to do them.
Okay, so you're doing Ted's handle.
Yep. So these are the stainless steel brackets that had to be just so. Ted wanted them. They had to be. So I
Right.
tried making them out of. I had a set, a bunch of them cut in China, out of metric Chinesium
Metal.
metal, and they were 7/1000 too thin. So there has to be US spec stainless to do it. So anyway, and then you get your little handy dandy hardware. You get 2 clips.
Okay.
Like so.
And you have your own laser, right?
My father-in-law has a laser setup. So thankfully I don't laser cut the metal. I have that done. And the metal is the most expensive part of the whole deal. So
What are they water?
they're
jet?
laser cut.
Okay.
So, but yeah, they're really nice. So the place that I have do it, it's a pretty big investment every time I do this. I've had 3 orders of So I'm on my third set, so I get 50 handles out of an order every time. So
Okay.
at the
And that's
the-
probably the most expensive part.
yeah, it's a big number.
Well, now
So
next to the balsa.
every time I do it, it's the balsa went up this time, big time. The plywood, boy, it's a number. So
That was part of my decision also.
So and then I use to make the clips. I make a set of line clips too. If people want for $20, it gives you 5/8 of an inch of adjustment in 1/16 increments. So I sell those.
So
if people
what's
want.
a completed handle look like? Is it all finished? Is it
No, it's
epoxy?
a kit.
varnish?
Because a person should shape it to their hand. Sorry, this is how you
Okay.
get it. Is there's the 1/4-inch balsa scales or the outside, and then there's 1/8 inch plywood, and then there's the 16th inch plywood in the middle. And then I make both sizes of them. This is the 3.5 inch from here to here, and then the small one is 3 inches from here to here. So you just shape it whatever your hand needs. And then one thing that my brother does when he builds them for himself is he takes the plywood inner core. So if a person was so inclined when they made these, there's some extra wood really. So you have 2 of these pieces of plywood that are part of the structure. Really, if a person wanted, they could, drill some holes in here or kind of skeletonize it a little bit to take some weight out of it. My brother did
Because
that.
there's no weight, there's no stress there, right?
Yeah,
Or
there's
is
no
there?
stress. No, because all of the stress is done up here where you put your blind nuts in and then that's what the clamping
And then it's
for.
all glued together.
Yeah, it's all glued together. So it's, but that's kind of individual taste. This is the centerpiece where the bracket slides in and out of. This is the centerpiece is the 16th inch.
Yeah, I actually had cut a sample for Tom Morris a couple of years
Yeah.
ago.
Tom does his own
Yeah.
way. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never held Tom Morris, but these had to go to Ted Fancher and get his blessing to do it.
Right.
And I had to be vetted by him too. So he called up Gordon Plane and he's like, "Do you know this Brent Williams joker? Who is this guy?" So
that is my
Well, he
favorite
didn't
handle.
get where he was. He didn't get to be the level that he is or was, however you want to say it.
this is Gordon Blaine's old Warburton Tony.
Nice.
So that he built that plane in like 1969 or 1970. And
Wow.
kind of cool. It's got a fully detailed cockpit in there.
I'm sure John's seen that a few times up close.
Yeah.
Yeah, he ran out of space in his hangar and he told me to take it home.
Nice. Wow. Now, what engine do you have in it?
It's got an OS 35S. It flies good. The motor kind of moves a bit. So I think the motor is actually pointing at in thrust right now. So last time I flew it, when you'd go into the round, regular loop, you had to take 6 or 7 steps back. Like, oh man, it was,
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
Lonnie.
Yeah.
And so I decided it's just going to be a wall hanger.
Yeah, that's what it should be.
I don't want to do
Hanger
that.
queen.
And down here in my mountain of dirt, apologize. Here's a Sultan, Norwood,
Ooh,
old Sultan.
ooh, nice.
You guys are probably going to vomit from the view.
No, I'm doing all right. I fly control line stunt. I'm all right.
So this is Norm Whittle's last glow Sultan before he went electric. And I hooked up the lines wrong accidentally and knocked the nose off.
Oh man.
Got to build
Oh, what a
a new nose for it. But this was an amazing plane. I tell you, that was pretty awesome. So
it seems like we crash our amazing planes. We'll keep flying them all the time.
Boy.
I've been pouting on that for a year and a half. It's I put it out in the garage and just couldn't even think about it.
It's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it was just I let myself get rushed, and I thought I had checked the lines. The wind came up, so I rolled the lines in. Then it kind of died down, and then I kind of let myself get a little flustered feeling, and I thought I checked the handle.
Yeah, because
Apparently I didn't. I was letting my little girl help me with stuff, and I was kind of trying to manage what she was doing and what I was doing at the same time, and just
that sounds like a recipe for disaster. Oh my
so we
god.
turned it loose and bam, just that fast. I'm like,
Oh, I know. Yeah, it happened. I actually, Dave Sabon saved my bacon because I had hooked up my lines incorrectly on my red Strega, and I moved the handle, and I must not have stopped. Now I learned to give it up, but
And
hold
look.
it up and look at the elevator. Because if you move the handle, sometimes you'll be thinking it's moving up and down, but it's moving down and up, and it can bite you. So yeah, it's something you have to be careful
it's
for.
you hear all the stories of someone doing it, you think I would never do that. Never in a
Yes.
million years. And then all of a sudden you're standing there with a broken plane. So
Yes.
here's
I
a
have
kind of a fun plane. There's another Cha-Ching. So this is a Pathfinder, but it's done up
Or Pathfinder.
kind of like the Lost sheeting style. This has newsprint on the wing that it's got white primer on it. But this is just 1 pound foam with newsprint on it.
okay.
What's the
And,
last? Oh, that's the wingtip. Okay, sorry.
Yep. So this wingtip and
Now, you sheet that?
no, it's just got
You're not going to sheet that wingtip.
oh no, it'll get monocoat on it. Sorry.
Okay.
I'll monocoat the wingtip. But this tail and these wingtips were on a plane that Gordon built back in the early 90s. That's one of the original. This was one of the old I-beam Pathfinders that my brother and Gordon built.
So you're going to piece it together.
Yeah. So why not? So
Call it Frankenstein finder.
this is basically that same concept that Bob Hunt's doing with the no sheeting. So
Oh, no sheeting. Okay.
So I had Phil Cartier cut me these Pathfinder cores. So it's got a 3/8 external spar, 3/8 by 1/8 spar up here, and then yeah, it's just trying to be cheap and build planes fast. So yeah, Phil sold me a set of 4 of those Pathfinder cores that I sent him the files for I don't know, $75 or something like that. So yeah, if a person wants to build some planes, there's ways to do it. They're not going to be as pretty. You just have to accept that they're not going to be all that beautiful, but they'll be adequate. So
Well, you want to cry crashing a nice, pretty one? Or, not cry crashing a not so nice, pretty one.
yeah, I agree. And I like to fly more than I like to build. So I that's just where I'm at with it. I'd rather fly. So
Look, I used to fly combat when I was younger. I know about crashing airplanes,
yeah.
so.
And I've got little kids too, so if I'm going to have them fly, they're going to be crashing lots of stuff, and that's
Well, there's
I have one. I have one of those in an airplane.
Yes, I think they're very popular. These would use your Dave Brown fiberglass shafts, and this is basically a turnbuckle where you have your left hand and right hand threads, and
I
you
put
can
one of those
shorten-
in a High Johnson Spitfire.
and they work really well. I've actually, you can place these anywhere, so you can place it in the center of the push rod, so that it's not going to deflect. And they worked really well. I've never had an issue with mine. I have like 3 of these, two of them in push rods already. The planes are gone, but the push rods are still here. And so you just see JB weld the shafts on either side, and then
What about epoxy? If you scuff up the end pieces,
I
what
have
about
the directions
epoxy?
here. I think let me see what Bill Biles suggested.
How do you get your hands on those, Charles? Where do you
I
get your hands on
don't
those?
think you can. They're unobtainium.
He don't make them anymore. I
Yeah.
don't believe.
Yeah, I mean,
That figures.
Bill Biles is a friend of mine, and so he actually went maybe into his storage to get me 2. It's just one of those
Tell
things.
him you have a hankering to build 50 airplanes, and you need 50 of those, and then only sell them to the highest bidder.
Yeah, so in his instructions, it says, I recommend the use of a low viscosity, slow 30 minutes or slower epoxy or JB Weld. So either or.
JB will.
Well, back
Guys, I'm
21
gonna have to
years
get
ago-
out of here.
Let me show you
I'm gonna
that.
have to get
Phil.
out of here. I'll see everybody Monday.
All right, thanks,
Phil.
Phil. Hey, come back.
Phil,
All right, y'all be
Hey,
good.
Phil.
We'll see you Monday.
Phil,
All right,
let
You
me
guys
show
take
you
care of
that.
yourself and have a good weekend. Somebody go fly and have some fun.
Do you
I'm
want
going
to
in the
see
morning.
those, Phil?
I'd
You
love
want-
to.
You want? Okay. Can I jump in, guys?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm done. I just wanted to show up. Matter of fact, I hope that Steve Hines saw because he wanted to know what it looks like. And let me switch to gallery view. And you want to show something, Walter?
Yes, please.
I'll spotlight you. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so now I hit share screen, and here's one, share. Now, this is an exploded view of the
Oh,
fuselage,
beautiful.
Oh, wow.
okay? Now, in here, okay, are these Humpty Dumpty things that,
Oh, thank you.
that, huh?
I said thank you. Now it's crystal clear.
Yeah, let me send up another. Can you see this one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, these I've actually laser cut. This is 3/8, okay, tall, thick, whatever, or wide the material. So
Yeah.
for the what was going to be the hopeful kit, okay, I was planning on including those, and they were going to be laser cut in 3/1/8 layers. And then you obviously you glue them together, and then you glue them onto the wall. Okay, and I was going to have a top one, which is longer than the bottom one, for obvious reasons. Okay, but that's how he mounted them in, and he actually. Paul's original plan. Let's see, Paul's original plan. Here, let me see if this will show up. Is that showing up?
Not
No.
yet.
No,
I
The
still
black
see
photograph?
I still see the previous image.
Okay. How do I show this? Okay, let's minimize this one. Maximize. Does that show now?
Nope.
Yep.
How about now? New share.
Nope.
Yep.
There we
There
go.
it is.
Now it shows.
Okay, yeah, that's inside of Paul's airplane.
Okay.
And apparently what he did was he used, I think, 256 blind nuts, because every one of the humps has a blind nut in it.
All right.
If you could see them.
Yeah, I see the blind nuts.
And so I made 3 layers of 1/8 basswood. And like I said, when it gets built, they were going to just glue them together, epoxy them, what have you, and then just glue them to the sidewall of the airplane.
Right.
And that's basically what what I did for the airplane, and what would have been for the airplane. I
So
mean,
you
I
basically
really.
had-
Walter,
basically you put stops.
are you gonna release those plans at all, or are they not out for public consumption, or what?
At the moment, I'm gonna close these share, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Basically, I don't want to release them because for now, because I am going to close down because of health reasons. I mean, I was basically shut down for a little while, but I can't even stand up, no less walk right now. I mean, I've had to buy, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll turn this around. Right. You see that scooter?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I use just to get around my house. And I don't have a big house. So, because I haven't finished, I haven't built the body, I haven't built the tail, I haven't fit the wing and everything together. I don't want to, because the only thing that we're sure of at this particular point in time is the wing, because I got those files, the rib files from Howard. Okay, Howard contributed the wing files for it. Okay. So that's basically it, you know.
Yeah.
If somebody wanted a copy of them, I guess I could sell a copy of the plans, with the stipulation that the prototype has not been completed from the plans, you know. I mean, I've even thought of just selling rib sets and plans. Okay. But again, whether I sell a rib set or I sell a set of plans, the big problem is getting outside. And so until I'm able to do that on a regular basis, or at least something that's a little more steady than not, I don't want to commit to anything. And that's why I've deleted my entire website.
I understand. I get it.
So, you know,
Dennis, you didn't go to Triple Tree?
so
Yeah.
anyhow, let me say goodnight.
Hey, good night.
And again, for the second time.
Good night, Howard.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Take care,
Good night,
guys.
Walter.
Take care, Walter.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, did you see the adjuster? I just showed it.
No, I didn't.
All right. I still have it in front of me.
Here's a fun little plane.
There we go.
Oh, Lord.
Wow.
This is an
That's a-
020 White Street.
Wow.
Oh, gracious.
So back
Guys,
in the
I'm gonna have to get
90s,
out of here. Oops,
back
I'm
in the
sorry.
90s when Gordon
All right,
flew
Phil,
the
thanks for coming in,
Gemini
Phil.
twin when it was
Come in.
yellow. So it's funny when Gordon used to fly the big Gemini twin when it was yellow, I would go pit this plane right behind his Gemini twin at the field. And the wingspan on this thing isn't half as wide as the Gemini twin is. I thought it was so funny. I was 14 years old or 15 years old. I just thought it was a crack up because they had these big, beautiful planes. And I had this little 020 flight streak that I built in 2 days. My brother was the night manager of a restaurant. And when he'd go to work, I would raid his balsa pile and his super glue and kicker. And so I built and painted this in 2 days. I used a hair dryer to force dry the dope on it. And so this plane was built and painted and with dope in 2 days. So
Yeah, it reminds me
Kinda funny.
it reminds me of a bad experiment. I was trying to force dry a plane when I was a kid. I used the oven in our house, and fortunately, I didn't start a fire. But let me show Steve this. I told him I would show him in.
phone's gonna die, guys. So I'm gonna
All right.
let you
Hey,
go.
thanks for coming in,
Phil. You
Brent.
Pop in and show you that carbon tube fuselage thing. It's kind of
Yeah.
an out there
Good job on
idea,
that
but it's
carbon
kinda cool.
fuselage.
Yeah,
That's
thank
looking
you very
good.
much, Brent.
Trying to think outside of the box a little bit.
Yeah,
So
that's
you
what we
guys
need to
have a
do.
good night.
I'll give you a
Night.
call, Brett.
Okay, John.
All right,
See
take
ya.
care, Brent.
Bye-bye.
Steve, have you seen these before, Steve? It's a turnbuckle basically that was mass produced by Bill Biles.
No, I heard of them, but I never seen it. That
Yeah,
is,
so it's left and right hand thread. You have the center thing you put your wrench on, and then these other ones that one's the left hand. So you have your Dave Brown shaft epoxied onto this one, and your Dave Brown shaft epoxied on that. And you can
okay.
basically it's a turnbuckle, left hand and right hand threads.
Oh, okay.
So that's what it looks like, and they're basically unobtainium right now. I just happen to be friends with Bill Miles, and sold me a couple years ago, but he's I don't know if Bill Biles is flying or even building right now.
Okay.
So anyways, that's
So he could even, well, if someone wanted to make them, the parts that glue in a Dave Brown could glue over a carbon fiber push rod.
That's what it's designed for. Not over, inside. It slips inside.
Yeah, I know. That one is for inside, but you could make it so it would be for an outside over carbon fiber.
Suppose you could, yeah.
yeah. So
If someone wanted to come up with something like that.
yeah, why don't you do that, Steve?
If I had a mill and a lathe and stuff, I would.
Yeah, so they're pretty neat. I've used them, never had any failures with them. And usually, like you said earlier, a couple of weeks ago or last week, that you could put this in the center of your Dave Brown shaft, and you basically would eliminate any deflection because it would basically stiffen it, you know?
Yeah. Yep. That's what I was told why they did that, but you know, I've never seen one and I never tried them or anything else.
Yeah, he used to advertise them all the time in Stunt News. Anyway, I had asked earlier, Steve, to everybody else, did they have any, this is Friday the 13th, did they had any superstitions or traditions or things they avoided or did do because of their superstition? Do you know of any
Yeah, but it's not after 12 o'clock yet.
okay. As far as flying, line flying.
Yeah, well, you just said Friday the 13th traditions, and
All right, I'm just talking about flying. Like mine is, I don't have any caffeine before a contest. The day of the contest, I just go caffeine free. I'm already pumped up and excited. I don't need anything else to heighten my already excitement. So I wait till after my second round before I have any caffeinated drinks. And I don't have any lucky underwear or anything, but that's about it. Just I just don't drink any caffeine.
No lucky underwear.
No lucky underwear.
You gotta have
Not
lucky
like Michael
underwear.
Jordan, who has that what was it?
yeah, I should have played the lotto, and I forgot all about it. And Samantha said something to me because I always say that, you know, Friday the 13th is my lucky day, and I've won stuff, you know, raffles and stuff like that on Friday the 13th. But,
yeah, you should have. I
but
should have.
I forgot all about it.
I should have too. Well, we just have 3 more minutes till we go into the after party. Walter Umlin, he put in the chat, thank you for allowing me to share tonight. And you're most welcome, Walter. Thank you for coming in twice. Appreciate that. And
Caffeine stuff to be being real quiet.
yeah, real quiet.
Where is Len tonight, I wonder?
Yeah, I don't know. You know, I had taken my daughter down to, we have a thing called Cruise and Grand here in Escondido, you know, on Fridays. And this place was just packed full of activity and cars and just a lot of fun. So a lot of people are beginning to have fun and do things. So I appreciate you guys coming in. And
what there in California, what it has to be 80 degrees for like 4 months before you decide to start having fun?
no, they Cruising Grand always starts in April and it goes to September. It's a lot of fun, a lot of neat cars, you know.
That was just a joke. I mean, here we're finally getting warm where you can get out. And it's like, you know, maybe you guys feel sorry for us or whatever and wait till.
No, we haven't been waiting. I'm
Hey.
just I just had to happen to take my daughter there. She wanted to go there, but I went flying today. It was a pretty good day. And
Did you
I didn't-
just get out there and when some cool guy come by in a neat car, she put out her thumb and got in and went for a ride with him?
no.
No? Gee. Damn, you're not a fun dad, are you, Charles?
No, I'm not a fun dad. I should get my shirt. My shirt says, I don't rent my I don't rent out my tools or my daughters.
What you gotta do, Charles, is get in the habit when they bring their boyfriend over, right, for that first date, to introduce them, be sitting at the table cleaning your shotgun.
Yeah.
Tell them
I
you'll
know.
be right there when they get back too.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I always pretended like that kind of stuff scared me.
You never got caught.
Oh, Steve's dangerous, no doubt about it.
I
we're
mean,
gonna
parents
transition
love-
to the after party, and let me thank everybody for coming in. Appreciate it so much. And we had a good show. We had some show and tells. Thank you, Brent Williams, and for coming in and doing some show and tells. And thank you, Walter Umlin, showing us the Predator. I've never seen the plans of the Predator, and I've admired him from a distance. And go out there and have some fun this weekend, and come back and share it with us Monday. And be safe, and so long. And as Rusty and Sparky says,